I'm just coming on live today. It seems to be easier to do and doesn't take as much time and effort, uh, and the recording and all the tech stuff. So that's fun for me. Um, Not to need to do all those things. And I can record it and it can be here for whomever sees it after. So that's fun. Today, I'm being called to come in and talk about rest. So, um, many of us, including this one, uh, I have been conditioned socially with my family, within my work, to look at rest as a, hmm, it's not a productive use of my time. And what I have found over the years and healing from my own traumatic stress injury and, looking at my nervous system and caring for it and keeping it healthy where it's at now is that rest is my friend. And however, there are times where my nervous system can feel that activation, and I have to get back into a pattern of recognizing that I am activated for one, and that these are old patterns that are coming up. It could be like releasing a fear of as I transition into this new role, right? Into mindfulness gardener, out of the system, more out of the system than I'm used to, right? Um, and you know, as a as someone who has some core beliefs and things that were really instilled in me is that you if you don't work hard, you're lazy, or you're not going to get anywhere unless you work hard. And I don't um, uh, berate anyone, or I think that if we're working hard, I hope that people are doing it and it's joyful for them, and that they can find peace and joy and creativity within it. Um, yeah, because there are things that we need to do, aligned actions we need to do to get somewhere, right? So, but within that, there's also that part where, rest is so important for our nervous system, for us to gather our energy back and find the time, um, or find the energy to like like I said when I first started, I wanted to take less time, and going on live seems to be a good way to do it. So it's my second live, and yeah, so if you haven't met me before, I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I've worked in mental health for 20 years. I've been a nurse for 23 years. And my specialty is working with folks with trauma and substance use and other mental health challenges. And I do a lot of work with folks around their nervous system and getting to understand that part and how that relates to our whole body. And I do a lot of skill building and awareness building, and I use trauma sensitive mindfulness and lots of different modalities to work with people one on one or in groups. I work with nurses, and personally, I have lived experience as a nurse with a nursing traumatic stress injury. So much of this knowledge is not just that theory and the understanding of the work I've done as a nurse within this system that we work within, but also within myself. So today I wanted to come on and talk about rest because it has been a learning experience to, take the time for myself to rest and regroup. And I find that when I do, especially when I go into my garden, that it gives me that boost of energy that I need, and my creativity comes back. Or I go for a friend. Rest can look so different. There's so many different types of rest as well, and that's something you can Google and get into, and if you're interested in this topic. But it just allows us, just so much more freedom when we do allow ourselves that time. And even if you think about sleep and what we all the healing that happens in sleep and regeneration of cells. And it's like, it is an important part to find some harmony in our work and our rest and our play and finding joy and other things in our life. So, yeah, make sure you make some time for rest. Notice when you do it, that mindful practice. Are there old stories coming up telling you that you don't deserve to rest, or get going, you don't have time, or you know an example I have as a nurse. So I went back to work, and we all have different like workplaces, right? In nurse or not, but there are different work cultures or practices. And say people at work don't take their break, that's a rest, right? We need that time to re-energize and work. um, um, yeah, to get our energy back. I'm just seeing someone ask, where am I from? Yeah, I'm in Canada. I live on Vancouver Island, and I've um, been nursing for 23 years, and my channel is here to support people to come back to themselves. And really, that is my intention for this channel, is like in all the work that I do, if it's nurse to nurse peer support, mindful nurse gardener, or working with anyone, my family, people I meet on the grocery store. It's really like how my intention is to share what I know, what I've learned through my own journey of healing, and um, as someone who continues to work one-on-one therapy with people. And yeah, is how do we get back to ourselves, and how do we give back to ourselves without feeling bad about it, right? When do we recognize these are old stories I'm telling myself, and when they're serving us or not, right? um, yeah, and then knowing that we can make that shift. And sometimes there'll be a day where it's like, oh, those old patterns come back. And it could be, you know, just a tough time, right? Your activation in your nervous system. Maybe someone passed, or, you had an extra amount of stress at work. But just to know that it's okay to take our breaks, it's okay to rest. And yeah, keep up the good work out there. If you're interested in anything I'm talking about, or resonate with my, things that I've talked about on my channel, check out my website. Just fairly new, still getting some bugs out of it, but it's www.mindfulnursegardener.ca. And if you're curious about, seeing me one on one, send me a message through that. And otherwise, just keep following me here, and I hope you're doing well wherever you're at. So yeah, take care. Now I have to learn how to stop it. Okay, bye for now.